We were going on vacation in August, August 14th, 2015, and my husband, we were going up to Shawano, and my husband decided to take his motorcycle up there on vacation with us for a week, and me and the kids went in the truck behind him, and we started out, and it started to rain real hard, and Ryan was my son, 12 years old. He is my son, 12 years old. He's on the back of Roger's motorcycle. And it started to rain really hard, thunder, lightning, and so Roger called me under an overpass and said, "You need to come and take him." So I took Ryan, my son, in my car, and we proceeded to go up north. It was like about 10:30 at night. We were about 10 minutes away from our destination. We're really all excited. And we're following Roger about 4 car lengths behind him, and going 55, 60 miles an hour. And a drunk driver crossed the center line and hit Roger, and he hit him real hard, and he killed him instantly. And then he came for us, and he hit us head on. We tried to look for my husband in the grass, and we couldn't find him, and we've all sustained injuries. It was the most horrific night of our lives. Me and my son were in the front seat. My daughter was in the back seat. And as soon as I looked up after we hit, I hit the brakes. It wasn't enough though. And as soon as I looked up, I could see the other guy on the other side of the windshield, because our windshields were facing each other. He hit us extremely hard. Got out of the truck because I smelled something burning, and the kids tried their doors. They couldn't get out. I asked first, "Is everybody okay?" They said they were okay, and they got out my door, and I immediately fell on glass and green and red liquid, and my son got out. My daughter was crouched in my car door area, and she was saying she left her shoes in the back seat, and she didn't want to step on the glass. I had asked some lady that was standing there if she could take my shoes and put them on her feet, and she did that, and we just immediately started running around trying to look for my husband. It was completely black out there. It was a 2-lane highway, and we went right away to look under the other guy's truck. We went to the other guy's truck, and his door was off, and he was there slumped over, and it looked like he was dead, but he was breathing still. But we looked underneath his truck for Roger and his motorcycle, and he wasn't there. Kind of felt around a little bit. This guy that was behind me had immediately had come up when we had the accident, and he had a tiny flashlight, but he was like an angel out of nowhere. I said, "You gotta help us, because it was a 3-car accident. It wasn't a 2-car accident." And I said, "It was my husband. He was on the motorcycle." He said, "I know, I saw it." So he helped us with his little flashlight to go look for my husband, and we couldn't find him. He ended up being found where he was hit. We were looking more towards where our trucks were hit together, and my son all of a sudden disappeared, and I was screaming like, "Ryan, where are you?" And some gentleman had yelled out, he came up an embankment and said, "I got him, ma'am." And I said, "Where did you go?" And he said, I heard them say he's over here. And he said I wanted to go to Dad. And I'm just so glad he never made it there. Because what happened to him is unspeakable. And even my son had a broken wrist or something. He had some square thing on top of him, like a bone. And I had to even say, because he said, Mom, look. And I said, oh, could you just hold that for a little bit? Because we got to find Daddy, you know. It was just horrible. We kind of all just stood there and kind of hugged each other, screaming and praying. I hope he's not dead. And in reality, I kind of knew, because he was hit so hard and so fast. It was so loud. And when we got hit, it was so fast and loud and hard. But the guy behind me, I asked him if he could have all the people behind him turn their cars so we could have some light on the grass. And he did that. Yeah. The realization is, it's just so hard. Realizing he wasn't coming home, going back home after we spent 5 hours in the emergency room that night getting stitched up and stuff. And that we had to go back home and carrying my husband's suitcase, and we're minus one person. It's so surreal going back in the house. It's been a nightmare ever since. And then soon after that, I would hear like bad news every day, like, oh, I'm sorry to tell you, Paula, he was a drunk driver. Oh, I'm sorry to tell you, Paula, he was over 3 times the legal limit. Oh, I'm sorry to tell you, Paula, it was his 4th OWI, but this would have been his 5th. Sorry to tell you, Paula, he was sent for 14 months in jail. And he served 9 months, and he just got let out. He wasn't supposed to be driving. He didn't have insurance. It's been a nightmare. We really miss him.